For example, Chuck D. You say he's stopped by a police officer because he's wearing gang attire, and then he says, but the police don't understand, and whites do not understand about blacks. And what I'm saying to you, Chuck, you don't understand how people in the black community feel about gang members and about people who wear that attire in their neighborhoods. They don't like it. They're terrorized by it. They're frightened by it. And they ask the police to come in and do something about it. And then when we do something about it, there are those in the community that say our actions are too harsh. Then you talk about black police officers. When a black puts on a police uniform, suddenly he's no longer black. He's treated as the enemy by the black community in many respects. And he feels that he's been totally dislocated from the group that he's trying to represent through affirmative action. We will not and have not dealt with this in a realistic way. There are perceptions out there. And as far as crime is concerned, let me just tell you, crime is heavy in black communities, and it's crime against blacks, black crime against black crime. You go to Los Angeles, if you're a Caucasian in Los Angeles, your chance of being murdered, very, very small. Your chance of being murdered if you're black are very big. If you're Hispanic, it's very big. And to just deny that is nonsense.
Well, the question is why? Why?
I must say
I don't have all of the answers as to why, but it is a fact, and it builds perception. That's what Bill was talking about. The perceptions that are there.
Chief, one of the things I'd like to say, it is not the uniform, it is the behavior. And I don't think we should crowd the issue. It is the behavior. No one is questioning a police officer whether he's black or white because he has on the uniform. It is the behavior that is in question.
And I will tell you, that's not true. And you can talk to black police officers. They will tell you how difficult it is for them to operate.
If they take on the behavior of white police officers, then that is the question.
In Los Angeles, we have a very well-integrated police department, extremely well-integrated. Believe it or not, I brought more blacks into the police department. I was told what you need to do is bring in more blacks, more diversity into your department. I did that. More women, more than any other chief in the United States. We still have the problems. The problems still exist within. Well,
it is a behavior.
You say that, but I go out on the street. I watch police officers operate day in and day out. And I will tell you, the behavior that you describe or that you're alluding to is not there. Police officers are the best we can find in this nation. We go through a tremendous process to select them. They are, by and large, wonderful people. To say there are not some brutal ones, yes, there are. To say there are not some racist, yes, there are. But there's a smaller percentage of brutal, racist police officers than there are brutal racist people in the population as a whole, because we go through that fine selection process. And yet, the police officers are hired by the people to do a job, and that job is becoming more difficult each and every year. It's a tough job. It's more violent than ever before. Their families worried about them more than ever before, and a lot of that problem is centered in racial situations, where racist racial problems exist. And police officers become cynical. I will be the first to admit it. They become cynical because of what they see on the street. And if you think that the attitude of the population towards police officers is all candy and roses, it is not.
I never said candy and roses.
They are
you
nasty.
It was the uniform that young blacks react to, and I said to you, it is not the uniform, it is the behavior. That is what I said.
How do we change it? How do we go about improving race relations? I mean, we've identified the problem in spades, but what about solutions? Chuck D., what do we need to do?
First of all, I'd like to say, just to talk about the police thing just for one quick second, the situation is rotten at the core. Nobody's just making a total scapegoat of the police. It's just that they come in after the situation is already bad and even getting worse, and they even come in and make it worse. If you don't have control over your economic situation, which means if the black community can't support itself and you have enough black businesses and you have young people coming up knowing that they could support a business or have a future in having a business to make the community go around, or even have an understanding of business, then that's one thing that's needed, because people wouldn't come up and young people wouldn't be making up their own rules. Number two is an educational curriculum that has to be there. I mean, and it has to be updated. For example, we talk about affirmative action. Affirmative action has to be updated. This is 1994. I mean, like, if you want to talk about what's important for black people, control and self-empowerment is something that people need to know, and they need to be taught at an early age, even in the high schools. I was talking to a high school yesterday, and I was saying, you know, what teachers need to do now is know just enough what's on the minds of the students, as the students are supposed to know what's on the minds of teachers. Teachers need to be tested in August by maybe the best students in the class or the best students in the school, and they get a test in August before they begin their school year, and they better know what's the top topics on the youth before they even start. I mean, that's updating curriculums.
Okay.
I mean,